25 in the constitution of the ANC that deals with disciplinary matters. So we will be interacting with the disciplinary committee to make sure it does what it's supposed to do. If a matter is a matter of discipline, it should be referred to the disciplinary committee. But we deal with integrity, and this issue about integrity, most people don't understand. And I listened to the commissioners. I only had an opportunity to meet one person, but they have met so many people. And amongst those people, clearly, even when you interact with them, you can see that they've recalibrated their understanding of ethics. You know, they don't think if you do something that's unethical, it's a problem. And once you recalibrate like that, then you've got a serious problem. And so it is our commitment that we do as the Commission what we are required to do. Any matter that's related to issues of integrity would be referred to us. But straightforward cases of discipline should be dealt with by the disciplinary committee. Let me just make an example. You'll see it in the statement we're going to give you. The ANC referred the Zondo Commission cases to the Integrity Commission last year. And they said, report to the Integrity Commission in 3 months' time. And when we started, we looked at that and decided, well, they said if they don't come in 3 months to the Integrity Commission, then they should be referred to the disciplinary committee. And so we made a decision to refer those cases to the disciplinary committee so that the disciplinary committees deal with them, because most of them are straightforward questions of discipline. The Commission also has a mandate to help determine what is integrity. The definition, have you violated, have you acted in an unethical way? Who determines that? Or the Commission has that responsibility to do that. It's a very challenging issue, and I found that the Commission has done its homework. They have got this framework on integrity, which was presented to the ethical framework, presented to the NEC, and I imagine the media would have that framework because it was done in 2021 or something like that. And so you've got 2020, yeah. 2020, so I must rely on them. So it will be very important because the Integrity Commission took the trouble to define what ethical behavior is, and every member of the ANC should have it. And so that helps us to deal with issues of integrity. And I just want to state that the public tends to think of the Commission as a body that sits like a court, listens to cases, and then make findings and go away. The way in which this Commission is constructed is to deal with issues of ethical behavior, including interaction with members of the African National Congress, to deal with that. And that's why we've interacted with the leadership. The officials will be interacting with the NEC of the ANC about these issues. We will be interacting with provinces, with the regions. In fact, the terms of reference expect us to even go to branches. And I don't know how you do that. You need a very elaborate structure to be able to achieve that objective. And the issue is not that we shouldn't just wait and somebody does something and we listen and we make a judgment. But we must be part of the renewal program of the African National Congress. That's the commission. It's a key pillar of that renewal program that should work on changing the type of quality of member of the African National Congress, and I can refer here to what the veterans are doing, because I'm part of the Veterans League. What they are doing there, they've developed a renewal document position, presented to the policy conference of the ANC, went to the conference, got it approved. And that document starts from the quality of the member. Because if the member has come to the ANC for other purposes other than serving people, then you are serving other interests. And so the expectation is that every leader will understand what acting ethically is about. I think that's critical before they even come and appear before the commission. I just want to say a few things and then I'll end there. I would like to say that unfortunately in the recent past, members of the ANC and some leaders think of the ANC as a place where you go and serve yourself rather than serve the people. And I want to state it clearly that fortunately the policy is clear. Anybody who comes here to serve themselves is likely to act unethically. And when you act unethically, you cannot be a member of the ANC in good standing. We need to deal with this level of corruption that has gone into this society. It's not just the ANC alone. I mean, I hear, since I was appointed as a chair of the commission, so many people have come to me. I mean, ordinary people who need a job. The councillor will say, how much are you going to pay me? I'll make sure you get the job. And some will say, you know, I need this tender. Say, we'll make sure you get it, but you're going to pay me, you know, for it. And corruption goes throughout. And I would like to state that there cannot be a member of the ANC in good standing who would have a tender where you inflate the price, rob the state, and people remain without water. You know, that can't be permissible. And I think it's an issue that we're going to have to engage with. And so the Commission's way of operation is to interact with the members and leaders, listen to cases where we deal with integrity, and we report to the NEC, and the NEC then acts. It's like we do the recommendations and the NEC acts. Since I've come, we interacted with the new leadership, and I'm pleased to say that they have expressed support for what we are appointed for and should do. And we raised the issues about, you'll have heard the Secretary General talk about that, of cases that were referred to the NEC which were not acted upon. And we said that they need to act on them, because if they don't act on them, then our role becomes not useful. We are there to assist the organization to be what it is supposed to do. And I'm pleased that there is commitment to do that. And so this is the commission. I would like to end up there. And I'm looking forward that we're going to interact with the leadership. We must change the way in which people, and I must say to you, this is not a problem of the ANC alone. It has gone into our society deep. Corruption has become the order of the day, and we must bring it to an end. I mean, why have the experience we have with ESCOM? It's not as if we don't know how to solve the problem. And all of us pay for it, and somebody benefits out of it. We need to bring it to an end. And you can go through each and every one of those entities. I mean, one of my pay, that because you come from there, or Comrade Jenny comes from that world as well. I mean, one of my pain is how Dinel got destroyed. You know, I mean, you've got a world-class facility and it gets destroyed. It just doesn't make sense to me. We're drawing the country down all the time rather than take it up. And we've got the capacity to do it. And our role is going to make sure that that does not happen, but it's assisting the leaders to do that. Less of it. Yeah. Yeah, they've locked us in. Okay.
No, thank you, Comrade Chairperson of the Integrity Commission, and good afternoon to you ladies and gentlemen of the media. I think it's a pleasure for me to meet with you today. As I see, or the Integrity Commission, we've been rather invisible to you for a long time, and it's the first time that we really meet with you in this way. So you are most welcome here. I'm not going to say much after listening to the chairperson. He has said a lot for you to chew on. But what I think I need to just mention is about the ethical framework for the ANC, which is based on the principles for which the ANC was founded long ago in 1912. And just to mention a few definitions of the ethics, which is that ethics represents principles of standards of human conduct. Ethical behavior determines the behavior of the collective. Ethic also ensures that we do what is right when the way ahead is not very clear. And then ethics are a set of moral principles that govern and influence our behavior above and beyond the rules and policies of our organization. Ethics guide us in the right direction. So this is the definition in a nutshell about ethics that we should all have as members of the ANC and as members of society and of any organization. And in the ANC, there are codes in the constitution of the ANC. There are sets of principles, codes of conduct. There are oaths that members have to swear to when they become a member. And there are numerous other guidelines by which the members of the organization should abide by. Because all the members of the ANC have joined the ANC voluntarily and have accepted the constitution of the ANC when they became members, and have accepted all the rules, the declarations, the oaths, and all these numerous guidelines and principles of the ANC. So if they are not happy, they can say so, and then they can also resign. So I thought I must just mention some of these things, and I think if you are ready to ask questions, please do so.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sophie. You have listened to the leadership of the Commission. You've also been introduced to members of the Commission. May I at this point then invite any of you colleagues who wish to engage with the Commission further. Do we have any takers? I'm going to start. Normally start. Is this my left? This time around. I'll start to my left, Mawande, over there, and then proceed to you, my brother, and then and yourself in that order. Mawande.
Good afternoon to everyone in the table. My name is Mohan Chikane. Previously, the Commission has been accused of assuming fictional dances in how to advertise and grants from certain. How do you address this new community commission in that you don't report corruption being seen and leaning towards particular questions for the rest of the situation? Mentioned only the blind one can deny that. And then secondly, on the recommendations that you made and which you submit to the office of the SG that forward the ANC, also that particular office has been accused previously of protecting those that belong to whoever is the boss in that particular office at any given time. How do you, as the Executive Commission, make sure, follow up on the recommendations that you make? For instance, if you make a recommendation today and say so and so must participate or so and so must step down, and then 6 months down the line, you don't hear anything that says that the ANC has discussed that particular report that you wanted to do. How do you follow up on cases and make sure that there's finality and that there is not that chance that they have over people for a long time? I mean, there will be leakages, but such reports will have at the NSC. And I mean, people will say that the report will not reach the NSC and the SG is too much for that. How do you follow up on the report and make sure that they reach their final conclusion in the speedy?
Reverend, it's Naya Zonatoja from Eyewitness News. To a certain extent, some of my questions, one of my questions has been asked by Mawande. To add on to that, the issue of the Commission's power and the teeth that it has in dealing with matters, do you think that that needs to be strengthened, or do you think you've got enough to work with and beyond the recommendations, or you would want to an instance where the Commission has much more power than we currently have? And my second and last question, you did say that you're not going to talk about any other matters that are on the table, and I'm respectful of that. The question I want to ask though is, you do have some work that the previous Commission was tasked with, which has not been completed or is in some stages. How are you taking some of that work forward without me mentioning any of those reports that we're talking about respect?
Thank you very much. It's nice to be a reverend. Yes, over to you, my brother, and then we'll go afterwards.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Nomen Masongweni from City Press. Half of my question was asked by Diane. I wanted to check how the powers that we have vis-a-vis the work that you recommend to the disciplinary committee. Do you send those with the evidence where the disciplinary committee needs to proceed with its work, having the executive committee commission having submitted its recommendation? Do you send those, and how do you collect all those the evidence that with those recommendations? And then my second question is how tight and how tight are your gatekeeping system in terms of you being at the risk of being challenged legally? And because you said you formulated, you define what ethical conduct based on the organization would need. So how do one get to the equation of closing the loopholes and not saying, but then this is not how we describe ethics and the code. Probably the last one is, do you go out to people as you are basically interacting? Do you go out and ask people to write to you and give you and complain to you about the integrity, or do you pick up as you are busy interacting through the media and all that? Do you make follow-ups? How do you follow those kind of procedures in terms of collecting? Say, one is breach the conduct or breach the party's policy or government codes. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Reverend. And I am aware that you said you're not going to respond on certain things, but that doesn't stop us from asking these questions.
You have to be seen to have asked it.
All right, but you did mention something that I thought was very important, saying that this Integrity Commission has been part of this renewal process of the ANC. And there are people who have said, recommending that race matter should be expelled. Perhaps that might just be deepening divisions in that he possibly enjoys some enormous support within the right hand part of the ANC. Do you not think that you were a bit punitive in that regard? But also give us an update with regard to, especially now that there are developments, the president is no longer taking the parliamentary report on Palapala to the Constitutional Court. How far are you with that matter involving him and also the digital rights? If you can just bring us up.
You're really taking a chance.
Thank you very much. I'm really going to ask, I think it's quite a number of questions.
Yeah, let's take them. Let us take them, yeah.
Yes, so we just take the full round in order so that there is enough time to respond to these. The Integrity Commission is going to its internal meeting after this, and I think let's make it count in terms of us being in the interest of brevity. Shall I look for others?
Let's answer these ones.
Or you want to take these ones?
Let's take them. So, yeah, let me just say, I've listened to the commissioners. I spent the whole day to listen, get briefings about all the cases they've dealt with before, their experiences. And I must say that they were appointed during a very difficult time. I mean, there was so much fictionalism during that time. It's just unbelievable. So even if you were, whatever case you touched, somebody will attack you for being fictional. No. I have spent 3.5 months or so with this commission, and the people who sit before you can never be fictional and can't be fictional. In fact, that's why they were appointed, because of who they are. And I've listened to them all the time. No one is going to accuse this commission of being fictional. My measurement, it's not about what you say, it's about what you've done and how we measure what you've done, instead of covering it up on issues of fictionalism and etc. Fortunately, the leadership we have met has said, we support you. There's no fictional activity here, but you remember during those days it was very difficult. I think we should put it within a particular context and history. I've said before that for me, it's not a question of attitude. Just draw a straight line and then test the leader's behavior against the straight line, and you'll see the angle of deviation. And it's not difficult to do that. If anybody deviates, you've deviated from what you are supposed to do. It's not a comparison with other people. Have you dealt with the other one? It's about you. Did you bring the organization into disrepute? Yes. Then don't call it fictionalism, it's you. And so let's deal with the person rather than the other issues. In terms of recommendations, yes, recommendations were made. Fortunately, this new leadership has said to us, we must act. And indeed, what we have given them already, they have acted. They have shown that they are committed. And in terms of the terms of reference, we're going to agree on how that gets monitored and will interact with the NEC. But they can't have a recommendation and keep quiet. You either say we accept it or we don't, but you can't keep quiet about it. In terms of powers, do we want teeth? I don't want teeth. The issue is that, it's not a power game. It's whether the members of the ANC behave in a way they are expected to behave. And if they don't, you put them into a disciplinary process. So it's not, the commission operates at a different level. I wish I could make an example of cases I dealt with in the church, but I can't do it here. I can do it in another forum. but their commission works like the church has got certain principles. You can go to court and say, I've not committed a crime, but actually you've acted unethically. There's a difference between criminal conduct and ethical behavior. Obviously, criminal conduct is unethical, but there are ethical issues that are not measured in terms of whether you've committed a crime. Your behavior has brought the organization into disrepute. You may not go to jail for it. So the commission operates at a higher level where you deal with integrity issues, not just criminal issues. Of course, criminal issues are part of the problem. So for now, we recommend, and they must act. It must go to the NEC, and we report to the conference and the National General Council. But that's reporting in general. The cases are acted at the NEC level. So I don't think it's a question of debate of powers. It's more about having leadership that's committed to renewal of the organization. If they don't, then of course the organization will suffer. That's the consequences of that. Previous work and continuity, yes, there is continuity. There's no cutoff, and that's why I had to be given all the cases they've dealt with, which are still outstanding, need to be dealt with, concluded. That's what we are dealing with. So there's nothing that's going to be left without having dealt with it. There's this issue about commission listens to people. If we refer them to discipline, it's like commissions in legal terms. You can't use that evidence, just take it from the commission, put it there and find the person guilty. You need witnesses to deal with the actual case. So that differentiation is there. Can we be taken to court? Of course, anybody can. But the key issue is, if you are a member of the ANC, you are expected not to do certain things. And I want to emphasize this. You get a tender of 5 million, you add 30 million on it, which has nothing to do with delivering the service you are supposed to say and pocket it. But actually you are stealing from the people because it's supposed to serve especially the poor. And you become a billionaire. You can't say, if we say to you, but you acted unethically, take us to court. In fact, the likelihood is that they won't take us to court because they don't want to go to court and talk about that particular matter. The Commission is very careful about how it deals with those issues. Inviting people, yes. The terms of reference provide that the NEC can refer, the leaders can refer, but the commissioners can also invite a person if they feel a person has crossed the line. So it can invite that person. Indeed, we are part of the renewal process. I have a feeling that the ANC has understood that it has to renew itself. If it doesn't, there are consequences. I think there's no debate about that. You're going to have to make sure the leaders of the ANC in every community are people of integrity who are trusted by the people in that society. If they are not, then they shouldn't be in the leadership of the ANC. But there might be any additions you would want to make about that. Otherwise, we'll take the next question.
Thank you very much, Reverend Chikane. May I then, Michelle, I think as Renewal, yes, do we have any other, I've got Kotaza over there. Shall I have the two of you solo? Please go ahead.
Yes.
It's Kelly from Reuters. I have a more general question for you, corruption. I mean, you're mentioning policy that it's a policy that about corruption. You mentioned the sewage in the streets and how it's unethical for people to get rich and not look after people's problems. But to be frank, do you think that it's still possible to make a turn on corruption? Do you think, I mean, you were saying the ANC must renew itself, the ANC has been saying this for 50 years. Do you think that it's possible, and how do you think it would be possible to make a turn, to turn around the corruption? For instance, the Auditor General's report every year keeps on getting poorer, and that's not necessarily alone an indicator of corruption, but it does show that that people aren't doing their work. The criminal gangs, we just saw an interview again this morning where there was 50 ministers saying criminal gangs, ESCOM and the SOEs. Do you think it's possible to make a turnaround? Isn't it too little too late? Thank you very much.
Potato?
Thank you very much, Potato Malisa from Sunday. I just want to check. Is the Integrity Committee involved in the vetting process for new membership, and do you think it should?
Yeah, you said vetting who?
It's a new membership of the people who want to join the ANC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Is the Integrity Committee involved, and if not, do you think it should? You mentioned, Reverend, that your engagement with people who appear before the commission, you realize that they don't really understand what this integrity that you speak of is.
Some of them,
yes. What do you make of it? Is the ANC failing to properly induct its members to fully understand really what is expected of them? And perhaps lastly, as the elders of the movement, perhaps this goes to all the panelists. Can you confidently say you still recognize, what the ANC has become? Is there a shift in what the ANC used to be and what it is now? And how does the ANC find itself, being accused number one, as the current president of the ANC wants to describe the ANC in terms of corruption and unethical behavior? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I want to come this side. No view that side. You are all covered. Thank you very much. I'll go back to Muluku and then Safmawani.
I'll move on. But when the Integrity Commission was established, I think in 2013, following the Malawi conference, the idea was that you need to protect the image of the ANC, particularly when leaders and lady members are involved in issues of integrity, or they are found wanting for them to come forward and do the right thing. But if, given the fact that when you compile a report, you give it to the National Executive Committee, what would be your assessment of the National Executive Committee from the moment this commission was founded to date, in terms of how it implemented recommendations that your committee predecessors obviously have submitted those reports? Because we know in some instances the commission did implement that former president step aside and he simply defied, or the NEC at the time defied. How would you assess their attitude towards the commission's recommendation?
Yes, correct, related, and a reminder, actually, you asked my question on how to police the recommendation, but let me ask this question in a different way. And I mean, I'll also touch on the issue of fictionalism that you responded to. Perhaps what gives rise to that kind of talk is the inconsistency with which the commission handles its recommendation. In terms of, for instance, the question is there a time frame that as to once we issue a report, in this number of weeks or months, we expect a finality, we expect it to be discussed at the next NEC, and in about 6 months we expect to see final action. Is there such a thing? Because I think what gives rise to talk of fictionalism and favoritism is the fact that some cases can be concluded within 2 months, some within weeks, some take years without finality. Do you have in your prescript of the boundary within which you operate a thing that says that cases must be resolved in this number of months? And if you don't, why don't you have? Thank you.
Yeah, that was our final round of questions, and over to you, Rob.
Yeah, I'm going to ask my colleagues some of these questions are history now. I'm going to ask my colleagues to deal with some of them. On the issue of vetting, I don't think, it's the job of the commission to sit and vet members. It would be a huge operation to do that. But it is the responsibility of the commission to make sure there's an understanding about what ethical leadership is about. I refer to what I'm doing elsewhere. And I just want to say that, the membership of the ANC, unfortunately, over time, is that... Get it quiet. Yeah, it's yours. I think the ANC needs to deal with their membership system differently. I would recommend that you look at the documents of the Veterans League as it goes to its conferences. I think that's an important question to look at, but the commission couldn't sit here and vet every member. How many are there? It's thousands. It's not possible. The issue of understanding, I think something has gone wrong. We must accept that. After 2013, the commissioners can answer that. I wasn't there. You know that, from there on we were sliding deep into crisis. The Zondo Commission tells you the story that something radically wrong happened in this country, and we need to deal with that. So if you had that, including impacting on leadership, it would be difficult to solve the problem, because if the affectional and the leadership are not having the same understanding, you've got a problem. But I've said to you now, I'm not talking about the past. I think the commissioners can talk about it. Now, the leaders, we met them because I wanted to understand this. Do you want us to do what we are supposed to do? Because this is what we are appointed to do. And if we do it, you need to act. Because we can act. We refer matters to them. Time frames? No. I don't think you can blame the commission. The commission does its work, reports. But some of those reports never saw the light of the day during those days. I believe it's not going to happen now. I mean, we have talked with the leadership. It's not going to happen now. When a matter is tabled with them, they will have to act on it. Because they have an interest in renewing the organization. I haven't found a leader now who says, no, we are happy about where we are. They are saying, no, we must get out of it. Will we be able to turn things around? You worried about the 30 years or so renewal. No, the talk about renewal is much more later than 30 years, because I was in government during those days. We didn't have a wholesale corruption of these levels. No. We still had corrupt people. I mean, in any government, you still have corrupt people. But we didn't have a situation where people see government as a place where you enrich yourself rather than use the resources to serve the people and better their lives. And that's what we need to do. We need to reverse this. We don't have a choice as a country. I'm dealing with another project about saving the country. We have to save this country. I don't want to make examples of other countries. I'll get into trouble. But we are sliding fast, and I've met Africans who are with us here who say to me, you know, we saw this happening in our country, and you're going to be like our country. You know what I'm talking about? We saw it. And I think it's important for us, all of us, including the media, to say, no, we're not going in that direction. And you would have heard me saying before, when I was in one of the countries, they say, the ambassadors, you know, you guys are doing well, we want to be like you. Please don't fail, because if we fail, then we have no hope. And then others say, you are going to be like us in any way. Just let's wait. You still have your Mandela, but we'll just wait a little bit, and you're going to be like us. So I think it's important for us as South Africans, including yourselves, to say, no, we're not going to allow this to happen. And we need to make sure the criminals don't take over the country. For now, criminals are running us. In terms of ESCOM, for instance, we have darkness here because criminals are holding us ransom, and we need to break it. You can't say as government we should leave it because it's important. No. We should have intelligence enough. We should have the force that can deal with that crisis. And so I wouldn't give up. I mean, otherwise I will be giving up my country. I'm not ready to be governed by criminals, and I'm not ready to be run by syndicates who make it difficult for you to do what you are supposed to do. So we're not giving up now. We're going to turn it around, and it needs hard work. And the commission is here to help to solve this particular problem. I would like to leave others. Can I? Would you want to?
Any members of the commission who wish to
Be
react?
free to do that. Add on what,
But sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Do you think there could be criminals who are in the leadership of government and the ANC, as you say that this country must be safe from criminals?
Yeah, but you would have had me in other fora. By the way, you think I haven't answered your questions. I heard you, but we're not going to talk about the specific cases. But you've heard me from other fora that if we don't stop this, we're going to end up with an Italian mafia in this country. And it's beginning to happen in KwaZulu-Natal. They kill just a councillor standing for an election, you get shot. I mean, you can't have a country like that. In one of those elections, 2016, there were about 20 plus candidates who were killed during that election. And I didn't see any headline news about how could this happen in this country. You know what I'm talking about. So they determine who becomes the leader. The criminals then decide, no, we must kill you. We must get the other guy who's going to make sure we get the tenders and etc. And that person is beholden to that person forever. And we are lucky in this country that the security forces never succumbed completely. We're lucky that the judiciary never succumbed to it, actually. We're lucky to have the constitution we have, let me put it in that way. And that we're still here and can talk democracy. So it's our responsibility. I think all of us, I don't want to make it an ANC problem, it's a national problem that we need to deal with. I can see my colleagues wouldn't want to say more, ma'am. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Reverend.
But before you close it, ma'am, I mean, we're going to have an open door. If you have anything you want to clarify information, we'll do so. The only thing we can't do is to give you reports that we present to the NEC because they need to themselves make them public. You know, that's how the system is structured. But for anything else, you're welcome. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Reverend. I think that the purpose of today has been fulfilled, and do look out for further communication from the Integrity Commission when it needs to communicate. But we do wish to thank you on behalf of the Commission for having made the time to come through this afternoon. The presser is now adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then you know that I like
How are you?